So I'm at Universal Park with my kids, and my grown kids have decided to ride a little kiddie ride. So I figured I'd go ahead and answer this person's question, and many like it. They're saying that it doesn't matter who accomplishes the prophecy, that as long as the prophecy happened, whether it's by God or by man. But here's the problem with that. And a lot of people have been saying that, well, maybe God is using man in order to facilitate this. When you take the supernatural in the doing and the saying of a prophecy, then it becomes an oracle. It becomes a prediction. It becomes speculation. Any person could have looked at the history during that time frame. They could have looked at the history that 2,200 years prior to those predictions being made, the Akkadian Empire literally crumbled because of decades of severe drought. And many other empires and city-states in that area disappeared, crumbled because of decades of drought. The Euphrates River dried up 4,200 years ago for us, but 2,200 years, 2,000 years prior to these predictions being made, these prophecies, as you say. So if you know history and you know that history consistently repeats itself, then you can accurately predict something, give it a divinity, and then call it prophecy, because the likelihood that it'll happen again is very high. In the same way that right now, if you saw one of my videos a while back, I talked about the fact that the American economy, the housing market, will crash again like it did in 2008 and like it did in 2020. Actually had a little bit of a dip. But if you look at market cycles, then you can gauge what's going to happen, and you can make a prediction, you can make speculation. But if you take the divine out of it, then it is no longer prophecy. So if man creates it, if man is at fault for it, then it cannot be a prophecy. If Joseph would have been Yeshua's daddy, would it have fulfilled prophecy? No. It had to be an immaculate conception. God had to come down and get busy with a 14-year-old in that framework. So that makes it prophecy. There is a divinity within it. There's a supernatural. There's a beyond the comprehension of the natural order of things. So a slow evaporation is not prophecy. It's man building dams in Syria and building dams in Turkey and stopping the water flow. And let me correct, there's 4 angels that's supposed to be living under the river, chained and bound to be let loose. I thought angels were the good guy. But no, Lucifer was an angel, right? Except Lucifer, that's a whole nother story.